Howdy, my darling Aries. Let's get into your weekly tarot reading for June 2023. How's that sound, darling? All right, we're just going to get right into your tarot reading today, darling, right? No need for any unnecessary introductions. If you do vibe out with me, just be sure to give this video a like and subscribe because it does help me out. Regardless, here, Aries, you have the Page of Pentacles coming out as your first card, which is absolutely fabulous. Now, I'm going to be reading these tarot cards for social life, so it could be romantic or platonic relationship, or your career and just your personal projects. All right, and so apply for whatever it does for you. All right, and so the Page of Pentacles in a social way, I won't be surprised here, Aries, if you start noticing people trying to reach out to you, wanting to communicate with you here. All right, this is like a sense where it's like I feel like you are going to be receiving a few more messages than what you're used to here, and more of a career aspect. That Page of Pentacles is really pushing for you right now, Aries, to start leaning into new side hustles. Perhaps if you are looking to increase your money or your revenue right now, which really who isn't on some capacity, this is a suggestion for you to be exploring different side projects, right? Start a YouTube channel, stuff like in that manner there, Aries, because that's really where Spirit is wanting to bless you in that regard. I get this message where they don't really want you to be grinding out more hours on something that you already are currently, more so like picking up like extra shifts at the work. It's like, I feel like Spirit is really wanting to bless you in a different capacity. Does that make sense? So let's explore this a little bit deeper, Aries. We have the Six of Pentacles. The reason being is because the effort for your work will pay off a lot more, Aries, if you choose to explore different avenues. The Six of Pentacles is the card of where you invest on your side and the payout that you get in return, right, Aries? And so even in like a social way here, I will be suggesting to you when it comes to communication, maybe you're wondering about people's motives. Perhaps you already know them. Maybe it's new folks. All right, I would actually be leaning more so towards new energy, because the pages do represent new energy just in general. And having that Page of Pentacles, it's like someone's wanting to extend out an olive branch. This is like the first thing that actually came to mind here. And so isn't like olive branch like a sense of like it has like the representation of peace? Interesting there. Whatever the case is, it is feeling as if it's more like organic is the word that comes to mind, Aries. Mutual benefit. What is the word when it comes to when you're describing animals? There is parasitic, and then what is the one where it's like beneficial for both sides? I know this word, but I can't think of it right now. Anyways, I think you know what I'm talking about, Aries. So let's explore this some more. Hierophant here with the Ace of Wands. All right. Hierophant is a very beautiful energy. It's the male counterpart to the High Priestess, Aries. The Hierophant does represent that when you see this in your energy, you know that whatever is happening right now is the building blocks for your enlightenment, right? That's why you see the steps there. It does also have representations of marriage. And so I'm not saying you're getting married right now, Aries, obviously, but there is this sense of devotion, this interest of wanting to devote to you, of wanting to connect with you, having that equal give and take. All right, because someone is definitely finding you pretty attractive here with this Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands in a social way is a card of lust. All right, just full disclosure there. Now when it comes to more career or project oriented here, Aries, this leads me to belief of where it's like you have the potential to start something new. Perhaps like, okay, we're just going to go along with the analogy of maybe you wanting to start your own store, bakery, right? You start your own bakery, or like you start a bake sale of some capacity, Aries. And it's with that you are able to expand on that, selling those baked goods to the point of where you have your own bakery store, you know what I'm saying, in that manner there, right? It's definitely this message here, Leo, really wanting to have you lean further into things that stir your heart more, things that you feel passionate about, because it wouldn't be just like a temporary thing for you. It actually has the potential, Aries, to really have to really help develop on your path here. It has the potential to really settle in and be something that would be long-term profit for you. All right. And so definitely at this time, I want you to be leaning more into your Ace of Wands there, because again, should you put in that effort, it really sets you up for success. And again, I'm still getting like honestly like organic wholesome energy, even in a social way here, that obviously they have some strong desire with you, but you might even be asking yourself the question, be like, all right, is this person wanting something from me, or like what's the catch? All right, if you're feeling this from a social way, maybe it's both for some of y'all, but it's like you might be asking questions like, okay, what is the catch here? What do they want? What is their hidden motive here? I'm gonna be honest here, Aries, I don't see like a hidden motive, at least in these tarot cards so far. All right. All right, now we're calling you out a little bit with this Five of Cups. Aries, the Five of Cups is a card of crying over spilled milk. So perhaps when it comes to your social life, you've been used to being betrayed, people using you, so on and so forth, right? But and this is going to sound pretty dismissive or cold-hearted of me, Aries, but my regulars know, honey, you don't come in here just for me to fluff you up. And, I'm here for your breakthrough. That's life. Everyone has their stories of being betrayed, of being used. Like, that's everybody. But if everybody were to just shut down and no longer open up to people after their first betrayal, honey, no one would be talking to anybody by the time they're a teenager. All right? And so it's not me dismissing what it is that you've gone through, but it is this message of where it's like, all right, sure, you've been betrayed in the past, but are you going to allow that past experience to really dictate how the rest of your future is going to be going? That's really giving a person a lot of power. Now, outside of that here, maybe you've messed up in the past. Maybe you tried to start a business in the past. Maybe you tried to do a YouTube channel in the past and it didn't work out here. The fact of the matter is for you, Aries, is that, just because you had an experience doesn't mean you know how the result is always going to be from that point forward, anytime it has any type of essence or representation of it. If you fall off that horse, that doesn't mean you're always going to fall off that horse in the future, right? Falling off a horse happens to everybody if you're riding horses long enough. All right. And so just don't quit. All right. Don't quit on this, because your spiritual team is really trying to bring forth this blessing into your life here in whatever capacity. And then, of course, Aries, we have sorry, my eye was itching. We have the Eight of Pentacles. This is a card of going up in the ranks, right? This is a card of improvement. This is essentially here, Aries, confirming what I was already implying here, where it's like what you're about to be coming into is an improvement from what it was that you were dealing with, right? And a career aspect, this is literally talking about doing more research and elevating your knowledge so you can go further up in the ranks. So this is like a push. Once again, Aries, if you've been having like this desire starting something on your own with that Page of Pentacles, lean into some more research on it, right? It would pay off. Like, you investing the time and energy into doing this new project that you are clearly feeling some type of passion about with this Ace of Wands, Aries. To me, I see this as a really good card to have. All right. And then you have the Empress card. All right. This is a call out once again to you, Aries, of where it's like, yeah, you went through a lot of hardships. That's who the Empress is. All right. But the Empress learns how to take whatever experiences, whether it's good or whether it's bad, whether, we don't need to have a woke view of it. If you deal with heartbreak, it's clearly bad. You don't need to hear a man tell you through the screen of where it's just like, oh no, don't feel sad about it. There's a purpose to it. I'm still going to tell you there's a purpose to it, because as the Empress, she makes lemonades out of lemons, right? That's the epitome of her. She builds a lot of character, right? And the reality is, Aries, would you rather talk to somebody who's extremely sheltered? We've all talked to folks who are extremely sheltered. Hopefully it's not you. And it's just nothing's wrong with them, but you always on some capacity end up saying, oh, bless your heart, right? So there is this sense of where for people that they don't have to lift a finger, they get what they get, and maybe that's what it is that you're wanting out of life, but honey, clearly it's already a little bit too little too late for that. All right. And so as this Empress, this is a sense of where it's making lemons out of lemonade. In a career aspect, an example of this would be when maybe perhaps I'll just use myself. I got out of a cult, and at some point in time, Aries, I plan on doing a whole book about it, because it just so much that I learned behind it, so much about it that I really, I know it's going to be a beautiful book once I finish it, right? And so I'm taking that initial trauma and making something out of it, right? And so I want to ask you the same thing. What could you be doing to make something out of it here, all right? And then you have the Seven of Pentacles, right? Now the Seven of Pentacles is really just a card of where it's what you invest your time and energy into, it's going to grow, it's going to develop. So again, once it really just reinforcing this message of your efforts would not be a waste of time here. And the Magician is the card that manifests the reality that they want to see in this world. world here. Your ability to manifest is extremely powerful, Aries. Don't doubt yourself at any point in time here, all right? Overall here, you're extremely talented. You're clearly being seen as an attractive person and perceived as someone that a lot of people look up to. That's why people are wanting to connect with you in the coming days here, Aries. All right. Just to summarize this tarot reading here, this is a time of action for you. Let me know in the comments, like, what have you been sitting with? What type of idea have you been sitting with that you've been playing it a little bit too safe because you don't want to disappoint yourself. You don't want to put yourself up at risk again. But that's just life, darling. All right. Winners all have one thing in common, and it's that they take a risk. All right. I took a risk when I started this YouTube channel. I took a risk. We all take risks in our life. If you choose to play it safe, you get a very safe life, and it's not very fulfilling. All right. And so this is ultimately the message here, Aries, of where it's like, again, not downplaying what put you into this position as this Queen of Swords. Some folks get really defensive when I don't really give them the pity party here, but it's just like, sure, crappy things happen to you, Aries, but your future is being promised, at least through these tarot cards, at least, so take this as you will, of a pretty abundant future, should you invest the time and energy into it, because after all, Aries, you are the magician. So this is the tarot reading that I have for you today, darling. Hopefully something in here resonated, Aries, and I'll talk to you sometime in the near future. Bye, darling.